People now, People's Beautiful Issues here with Jennifer Garner gracing the cover. Jennifer opening up to People about finding beauty in her life and in being a mom.
Hi guys, just checking in with all of you who are concerned about me.
Britney Spears re-emerges on social media as she continues to seek treatment. We'll tell you what she's saying.
A Jersey Shore star sends fans into a tizzy when he reveals how many women he's been with. Been with.
You're both in for a rude awakening.
Ralph Macchio and William Zabka are here with all we need to know about the new season of Cobra Kai.
Plus, interior design power couple Nate Berkus and Jeremiah Brent give us the scoop on life as a family of four and the third season of their hit show.
It's live today on People Now. Let's go.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Happy Wednesday. Guys, today is the day we're about to take a look at the cover of People's Beautiful Issue 2019.
Yes, very exciting. For our big reveal, we're getting a little help from our friend Ellen DeGeneres, so take it away, Ellen.
Twitch drum roll, please. All right, here we go. People's most beautiful person is Jennifer Garner.
All right, yeah, Jennifer Garner. This week's issue of People, it's on newsstands Friday. The actress, activist, and supermom of three opens up about how she found her happy place and what beauty really means to her. Now, Jennifer actually saw the cover for the very first time on Ellen, also revealed how this honor will change her whole life. Watch.
Congratulations.
You know, I mean, I didn't know People was it. Oh, there it is. Oh, gracious.
Yeah, it comes.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. I can't look
There
at it.
you are.
I can't look. It's,
Well,
People is now a magazine for AARP.
But
Do you think I should start like really turning it up for school drop-off and stuff?
yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I think I'll maybe wear some yoga pants, some leggings, and like maybe a ponytail, and you know, like kind of a scrubby just woke up or just worked out look.
Oh, that would be great.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, completely go the other way.
Yeah.
Instead of worrying
I'll
about
start doing that instead of dressing up.
But with this, just carrying it. Like just whenever if you're at the dentist office or anything, you're just flipping through it.
She's so cute. I love how she's a little shy about it.
Yeah.
A little embarrassed.
Fantastic. And stick around, guys. We're going to hear from Jennifer on beauty, motherhood, and so much more. And we'll be breaking down all of our beauties of the year with People's senior editor, Janine Rubenstein. And in honor of Jennifer Garner's beautiful cover, we want to see your favorite Jennifer Garner gifts. You can tweet us your gifts with the hashtag PeopleNow. You might see them on the show.
Better be some alias gifts. That's all I'm saying.
That's a guarantee.
We'll take a look at those gifts in a little bit, but now we switch gears to this. Former assistant coach at the University of Southern California, Laura Boehlke, has agreed to plead guilty for allegedly helping Lori Loughlin's daughter, Olivia Jade, with her entry into college. On Tuesday, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Massachusetts announced that Boehlke would plead guilty for conspiracy to commit racketeering. Boehlke was one of the 11 people who were previously indicted for their alleged roles in the college admissions scandal. She is currently cooperating with authorities. Now, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, if Boehlke is found guilty, she faces a maximum prison sentence of 20 years, 3 years of supervised release, a hefty fine, and restitution. Prosecutors allege that Boehlke helped William Rick Singer, the man behind the admission scheme, create fake profiles for his wealthy clients' children to get them into certain elite universities as recruits on their made-up athletic ability. Now, according to court documents obtained by CNN, Boehlke allegedly received an email from Singer in July of 2017 asking to create a crude profile for Loughlin and Giannulli's youngest daughter, Olivia Jade. According to the documents, Boehlke agreed and replied to Singer asking him to send her, quote, the pertinent information and I will get started. Lori Loughlin and Massimo Giannulli have since pleaded not guilty to the charges they face, mail fraud and money laundering conspiracy. If convicted, both face up to 20 years in prison for each charge. According to a source, Loughlin and Giannulli are worried that the prosecution could charge their daughters in an attempt to get them to plead guilty. Reps for Loughlin and Giannulli have not returned People's calls for comment, but we will keep you updated.
Moving on to this, nearly 6 months after the death of Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, the music mogul is opening up about the presence she left in his life and how he's changed his fathering ways. Gracing the cover of the May issue of Essence with his and Kim's kids, Sean Combs candidly recalls the days leading up to her death. He says this: 3 days before she passed, she wasn't feeling well. She had the flu, and she sent the kids over to my house so they wouldn't get sick. One night I was checking on her, and she was like, "Puffy, take care of my babies." She actually said that to me before she died. That was his quote. Those words stuck with Combs on the morning of November 15th when news broke that Porter had been found found dead at her home in Toluca Lake, California. At that point, he says he jumped into mommy mode, adding, "I sent people in every direction to try to make sure the kids would not hear about it on social media or on the news." Combs and Porter shared 3 kids together, the son Christian, twin daughters Jesse, James, and Delilah. Combs also helped raise Porter's son Quincy from a previous relationship, and he's a father to son Justin and daughter Chance from previous relationships. When he initially heard the news of Porter's death, Combs admits there was screaming and crying, but found solace in those last few words. He says, quote, "I was crying out to God and to her, and almost immediately Kim's voice kicked in, and I could hear her saying, 'Make sure you take care of my babies.'" Well, since her death, Combs says he's a lot more involved with his family because he knows that's something she would want. And though their grief will never go away, Combs reveals how the family's focusing on the positive, even revealing her passing made them love each other more. He adds, "Because of Kim, we're doing this well, because of the way she loved us." Combs also says that he's also become a lot more present in his kid's life, explaining that he hears her telling him to go and spend time with the kids and that his kids come before anything in his life. Now, the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner Coroner announced in January that Porter died of lobar pneumonia. She had been suffering from flu-like symptoms for days at the time of her death. Now, Essence's 49th anniversary May issue hits newsstands on Friday.
Well, it's been over a year since David and Louise Turpin's 13 children were rescued from a childhood of starvation and abuse. And in this week's issue of People, we're taking a closer look at how the kids are moving on after their parents were sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. 3 of the children, Joshua, Jessica, and a daughter referred to by the pseudonym Jane Doe No. 4, are currently enrolled in college, while an attorney for 7 of the siblings describes some of them sharing a Los Angeles area apartment, going to movies and concerts, and trying to be as normal as possible. On April 19th, some of the children had their say in court, with Jane Doe No. 4 revealing to a packed courtroom, she said, "My parents took my whole life from me, but now I'm taking my life back." She went on to add that the years of abuse, quote, "may have been bad, but it made me strong," and told the court, "I am shooting through life like a rocket." Her brother Joshua spoke next, revealing he still sometimes has nightmares about what happened, but is moving on and learning how to live his life. He has since learned how to ride a bike, how to advocate for himself, how to swim, how to eat healthy, and how to prepare a balanced meal. Now, according to Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestron, as damaged as the children were by their parents' abuse, the siblings remain very bonded to this day, and they, quote, "love each other tremendously because of what they went through." David and Louise Turpin pled guilty to 14 felony counts, including torture and false imprisonment. During their emotional sentencing hearing, Judge Bernard Schwartz said to them, quote, "To the extent that your children do thrive, and it appears that perhaps a couple are, it will not be because of you, but in spite of you." In 2018, police said they found the Turpin children, quote, "shackled to their beds with chains and padlocks in dark and foul-smelling surroundings." All but the youngest, then 2 years old, had been abused. Authorities are keeping the majority of the siblings' new lives private to give them a shot at normalcy, and their attorneys say they don't want to be seen as victims, but rather survivors. We are so glad that they are thriving. If you suspect child abuse, you can call the number below, 1-800-4-A-CHILD.
Moving on to this, it's been more than a year since the school shootings in Parkland, Florida, and People magazine is taking an exclusive in-depth look at a group of students' journey through grief and recovery, both from the school massacre and the suicides of 2 students in the tragedy's aftermath this past March. People spoke with 6 Parkland students about their emotional healing and what steps they're taking to make the world a healthier and safer place. In a 2-part installment, we're going to take a look into the lives of these 6 students who are not only surviving, but they're thriving in the face of adversity. February 14th marked the 1-year anniversary of the school shooting, where a former student entered Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School with an AR-15 rifle, killing 14 students and 3 staff members. Now, in the time since, the surviving students of Parkland have mobilized a generation of young people fed up with gun violence and ready to address mental health issues head on. Here, you can see students gathering last month at a rally in Washington, D.C. on the 1-year anniversary of a nationwide walkout against gun violence, a demonstration of solidarity for the students in Parkland. But while students across America are motivated to fight for their lives, for many students at Marjory Stoneman Douglas, each day is a struggle against anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Students describe the sounds of a fire alarm, a dumpster slamming, or textbooks being dropped as triggers that can shake them to their core. For all the hurt and pain that resulted from the shooting in Parkland, one silver lining has shined through: a class of students ready to make the world a better place in honor of the friends that they've lost and to comfort those who survived. In the first part of our look into the lives of Parkland survivors, we'll meet Carlos, Eden, and Dylan. 18-year-old Carlos Rodriguez and his family moved to America from Venezuela at the age of 8 to flee violence and crime. On the day of the gunfire, he was in a school office away from the shooting, but 3 of his friends weren't as fortunate. His friend Anthony had 13 surgeries due to injury. His friend Daniela was shot 3 times, and his friend Joaquin sadly died. Last year, he used his voice in the March for Our Lives, and now, in the wake of 2 Parkland student suicides, he's focused on mental health. He runs a video platform on Twitter called Stories Untold, where survivors of gun violence can share their stories to let other people know there is hope and that they're not alone. 18-year-old Dylan Kramer was present during the shooting when shots rang out. Dylan watched his friends die. In the time since, he's been treated for PTSD and continues to visit a therapist. For his senior year, Dylan switched schools and has since gotten a tattoo for his lost classmates. These days, he turns to photography as another form of therapy, but each day still has its ups and its downs. Dylan says in the mornings, he says, I feel good that another day has started. Once it gets toward nighttime and I'm in my room alone, that's when it feels dark and depressing. 16-year-old Eden Hebron is a sophomore who's worked closely with a therapist after hiding under a table during the gunfire at her school. While it's been helpful, she still feels the stigma of seeing a therapist. These days, the tragedy isn't the only thing on her mind, but on many occasions, she finds it hard to tell what feelings are from the shooting and which feelings are just from being a teenager. Edens, who is a singer and who recently performed at Carnegie Hall, hopes to have a career in tech. She's already developed an app that matches an individual's symptoms of stress, anxiety, and depression with ways to reduce them. Describing the app, she says, kids are scared to go to school. This app is a way to give them the tools to help themselves. Now, guys, tomorrow we'll meet 3 more students who survived the Parkland shooting. We'll talk about how Emily has coped with loss, how Kai is helping survivors holistically, and how Darian has found comfort in the Bible. Some really incredible stories there, so tune in for that. All right, stay with us, guys. We are joined live by Cobra Kai stars Ralph Macchio and William Zabka. They're going to give us a lowdown on their real-life karate skills. What exactly are they like? Plus, we're sitting down with Nate Berkus and Jeremiah Brent. How are they adjusting to life with 2 little ones? We're going to find out about that in their hit show as well. Stick around.
Jennifer Garner is the cover star of People's Beautiful Issue 2019. We've been asking you to send in your favorite gifts of the star to celebrate, so let's take a look at what you've been tweeting.
Do we have Alias in here?
We have to, right?
So far, congrats, Jennifer. Well deserved.
Not
love you,
Alias.
Jennifer. Yeah. Not Alias.
No.
Also,
13 going on 30.
That's a good one.
That's legendary, as they
As
said.
I said. Her with Fallon doing the green, that was on St. Patty's Day, I think. Is that Alias?
I don't know. That might.
No,
I don't think so. I think we'll know.
Also not Alias. This is how we're going to judge all of it now.
No, but these are great.
These are really great.
though.
That's
no,
fun.
these are great.
Oh, this was really great. When her reaction shot.
Yeah, there was so many people saying, what was she thinking about in that moment? Oh, did I leave the oven on? Or something like very
Also,
basic.
she tweeted that as well, or posted that on her Instagram. If you don't follow her on Instagram, do it. We'll
She's
talk
funny.
more about her later on, and keep sending in those Jennifer Garner gifts. But now let's move on to this.
All right, guys, get ready for this story.
Ooh,
Jersey
boy.
Shore star Vinny G is claiming to have slept with hundreds of women. Twitter has a lot of feelings about this. So he was on the Boomer and Gio radio talk show. He was asked about how many women he had hooked up with. Now, Vinny could not confirm an exact number to the host. He said he was confident it was more than 100, adding it was probably over 500, but the number could be over 1,000.
Well, at some point, maybe just lose track.
Yeah.
The reality star explained that it kind of came with the gig.
Does it, though?
It doesn't have to, but apparently it did. He said that he's rarely ever asked about it by potential female suitors, and then he said that it's really a question that guys ask, but girls don't ask guys that question so often, which is pretty interesting.
That's a double standard. So I feel like if you're not going to ask guys, then you shouldn't have to ask women, right?
Right.
That's what we're going with.
But Vinny knows. He's out there in the game, or was anyway. Vinny G claims that he's never been judged on sleeping with so many women, and he jokes that he feels disgusting right now. That's what he said as he was talking about
But he says it's been 10 years, and this is his quote, "I've had a good time," that he has.
The Jersey Shore star claims that he has become more selective now. He has slowed down a lot, which, I mean, it'd be hard to maintain that, I would think.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, Vinny, the internet has spoken, though, my friend. Some folks suggesting that this is gross, it's nasty, even disgusting.
There's others who don't believe it. They think that you're making this up, Vinny. I believe it.
Yeah, look, this person said liar. I'm not buying it.
For someone that's attractive on a reality show, I don't think it's really that difficult to reach that number.
And I don't think this was a situation where it was like, hey, brag to us about it. I think he was actually being kind of honest. And then he was a little self-deprecating, like I don't know that he's ashamed of it, but he said like he felt gross about it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think this was an environment where he's like, oh, thousands of women, like bragging.
Well, it's an interesting conversation, though, and a lot of people are tweeting. I mean, is this something he should be proud of? There's a lot of people are like,
yeah, there was a response to that, like, wow, something to be proud of. But anyway, Vinny G, not the only famous person to reveal their massive sexual exploitation.
So if you remember this, professional basketball player Wilt Chamberlain claimed in his 1991 book called A View from Above, he had slept with 20,000 women.
20,000.
I can't wrap my head around
Meanwhile,
that number.
in 2017, Ric Flair confirmed to People that he had slept with 10,000 women.
A little less than 20,000.
Well, I mean, yeah. Flair did regret that he had talked about it publicly because he didn't want his grandkids to know about this.
Well, the internet is forever.
Sorry,
Charlie Sheen told Maxim in the October 2000 issue he'd slept with at least 5,000 women. He didn't have an exact number, but when probed about it, he said his wild guess would be about 5,000.
Funny how 5,000 doesn't seem
At that
really
point,
as big a number after this story.
Well, yeah, but how do you keep track of thousands? I mean, I don't give it.
Yeah. And again, like I don't think these people are lying about it because they've been famous for so long, and it's kind of like the availability and access for them if they're willing. I'm not shocked to hear that over like decades of time.
Yeah, it makes me feel a little weird.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, but
anyway.
No judgment.
What's this? All part of your new Cobra Kai, Johnny?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Right. I've seen plenty.
Well, maybe you want to see a little bit more. Because this man's gonna make Cobra Kai bigger, better than ever.
What are you even doing here?
I came to ask you a question. And I got my answer. You're both in for a rude awakening.
Ooh, that was a clip from the new season of Cobra Kai, a YouTube original that had its entire second season drop today.
We're here live with stars of the show, Ralph Macchio and William Zabka, who are once again playing the iconic roles that they originated 35 years ago in the first Karate Kid. Welcome. I can't believe it's been so long.
Yes.
It has been a while.
And I'm so great, but it's so great that the whole thing gets this reiteration on the second season. What would you say is the biggest difference between season 1 and season 2 of Cobra Kai?
The biggest difference, I'd say, we really zoom back. Season 1 kind of came in through Johnny's eyes, and the tournament. This is really getting a worldview of the whole valley. Miyagi-Do is huge in this one. You get to see Daniel build up Miyagi-Do and all the kids
You
that
see
go
that
there.
in this clip, yeah.
Yeah, and then and a lot of the younger actors, a lot of young cast. It's really well balanced. Lots of fights. But all the same magic we had in the first episode.
Yeah, we know from the trailer.
Still has that essence.
We know from the trailer there's a rematch between you two that we didn't get to see in season 1.
Well, it's a tease. We can't say.
Yeah, I know. But fans
It's a
are
tease.
obviously really excited about
Yeah.
this. So what kind of pressure was that going into filming?
Especially being surrounded by all these fine, young, athletic kids, which I once felt like maybe I could be one. It's tougher, a lot more stretching, a lot more injury prevention, but we.
Yeah, but we still got him,
We
man.
still got it.
We
It's
still got
pretty
Yeah?
intense.
Yeah.
Well, that was my next question. If the training and filming has made you feel actually equipped to step up and do it.
If it's choreographed, yeah.
If it's well choreographed, you know exactly where the hits are coming.
If we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
pull those punches, but make it look like we're really connected.
No, you're supposed to go down now.
When you look back at that old footage and think about that original iteration of Karate Kid and everything, did you then feel like you could actually handle yourself?
Well, we could. I mean,
Yeah.
we were
We
trained.
did.
You know,
I mean,
to an
we did.
extent,
There were no
you know.
stunt doubles in any of our fight
one
scenes
thing-
in the original
Yeah.
film. I mean, we did it all.
I mean, I did a set visit once and got like one scene of choreography and a fight scene, and I actually thought I could kick anyone's butt on the street.
Oh, is
just
that
out of that. So I feel like
yeah.
you guys would just have been through the
They're
roof.
a little delusional.
No, I was very delusional, but I thought maybe you would be too.
Yeah, no, it was like it was choreographed like a ballet, really. I mean, it was like every move we knew, and we rehearsed for tons of time leading up to that final scene in the original movie. Cobra Kai, we don't have the luxury for the series, the luxury of that much time because we're shooting much quicker. That it's you really have to be on your.
Yeah, we had
toes
a
on
day
your
and a half to do our little
Right.
scrap. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask you to stand now and show us.
What's that?
Just kidding.
But it's been a while. So before Cobra Kai comes into your lives, how much were you thinking about your roles? Were you like always invested? It was always on your mind, or you kind of distanced yourself?
Well, I would call Ralph occasionally, and he'd pick up, and I'd be like, "Get him a body bag." He'd be like, "Billy," I'm like,
It's so funny. When you took
Stop
that
doing
answer
this.
that question,
Yeah.
I
You know-
couldn't
you
wait.
know
I
it
was
was coming, you know it was
I
coming.
knew something was coming. Yeah, we talked about it over the years. It was just how to do it, how to do it smart, who's going to orchestrate and write. And in this case, we have these three fabulous creators that found the angle in to make it fresh, relevant for today, but yet it be that warm, fuzzy hug, comfort food of, you know, good feels, emotion, heart, soul, and humor.
Yeah.
And they really did a great job, and we all worked together on that constantly. It's constantly a collaboration on how to deliver the show for the fans, the crazy fans of the Karate Kid, and yet creating a show that if you didn't know that, you're finding compelling stories and
Still in it, yeah.
and intricate characters of all ages, and it's really working, and it's really thrilling to see.
Well, you mentioned the crazy fans. The fans are pretty diehard. So I want to know for each of you, what's been the craziest fan experience that you've had over the years?
Do you have one off the top of your
Oh
head?
man, I don't know.
Or even a recent one that kind of sticks out?
Recent one this morning, just walking out of the hotel. There's some people chasing us now.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah. I think back in the day, I was at Disneyland. That was the day that it dawned on me that this movie got big, and I was there with a bunch of my buddies, and I got surrounded. Somebody said, "There's the guy from Karate Kid," and it turned into one of those things where they had to take me out of Disneyland, you know. And I was like, "This is weird." It was just that one moment. For a minute, I was like, you know.
Yeah, the moment.
Yeah,
the moment for me. One of the moments. This was like right, maybe 86 or 87. I was on a small island off of Anguilla, in the Caribbean. There's no electricity on this island, they were just like huts or whatever. And I was. But
You were living there, right?
Kids were there. That's where I was living at the time.
Like of
kids
all
were
places.
doing the crane.
Yeah.
kick.
Oh, wow.
Like, how do you know what that is? There's no television here. And that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is really incredible. Let's talk about this. Elizabeth Shue's character was a huge part of that first film. I mean, what is something that maybe fans would be surprised to know about her when you think back about that time working with her?
She was tough.
Yeah?
She's
Wait, what do you
a
mean?
tough
She
athlete.
was
She's
an
a tom
athlete,
girl,
yeah.
tomboy.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, she had
Total tomboy.
brothers, and she was a soccer player. She was I think she could have, you know, kicked both of them.
Yeah.
You guys still in touch
I
at
think
all?
she's proclaimed that on
Has she?
television.
She was
that
the only
did.
one, that only person that punched me in the whole movie, and all the fighting we did. She was the only one that connected with me.
Really?
Yeah, it was in the
Yeah, we
country
treated each
club
other like
scene.
teddy bears.
Yeah.
She
Well,
comes
I
in-
accidentally clipped you once, but
It
in the
happens.
country
Right
club
in this
scene, she clocked me in every single take.
You guys still in touch at all?
Yeah,
Occasionally.
yeah, we're Skyping right now.
Karate Kid obviously changed your lives. If you could go back, give yourself advice, like go 35 years back, what would the advice be to your younger self before this craziness all happened?
The same advice I give my kids, try not to take these moments for granted. When something feels, even when something doesn't feel like everything it will be 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years later, you know, just try to take life and its moments in stride. And it's very hard to do. Youth is wasted on the young. But it's interesting with Cobra Kai, I get to try to carry on the legacy of Mr. Miyagi in season 2, especially with opening up Miyagi-Do. And it's, you know, it's not so easy for LaRusso. Just because he has knowledge of the subject doesn't necessarily mean he can teach it or have that magic. And so I like to, you know, always talk about living in that moment when you can.
Yeah, what about
Not
for
so
you?
easy.
I'd say stay in training. I trained after the film, and then I dropped off about 3 or 4 years, 5 years after that. And I would say stay in, because Cobra Kai is coming in 30 years.
It's on the way. All right, here we go. We've got time for one question each. It's our confess sesh. You
Yes.
ready?
I'm reaching. I'm
Big
going.
question out.
Big question.
Read it out loud.
Who knows what the question's going to be? We'll hand that over to you.
All right.
Ralph, you want to go first?
Acting role that you almost played. The role that I almost played was in, oh God, there's two. It's in a movie called Running on Empty, and River Phoenix was actually the actor who got the part. Sidney Lumet directed that movie.
Oh.
I wanted that opportunity, and it fell through my fingers. Another one was I did meet and have a few conversations for Marty McFly.
Oh,
But the right guy was cast, just like the right guy was cast as Daniel LaRusso, you know?
Glad we could bring both of those up with you
Yes.
today. Yeah.
All
that's
right,
great.
what's yours?
Mine says reality show you would never want to be on. There's not one. I'd love to be on every.
everything.
Really? What's the one you would love to be on the
biggest
most?
brother
Naked
race.
Survivor.
Naked Survivor.
Or Naked and Afraid?
Do they have that?
No, Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid, which is kind of like a Naked Survivor.
Oh, yeah, Naked and Afraid. That's the one.
That's great.
Yeah, I love reality television. It's a
Naked
blast.
Dancing Racing Survivor.
My life's a reality show.
You into the dating reality shows at all?
So-
You into the dating reality shows?
No, not so much because I'm married.
No,
now.
right, but watching them?
Watching them, yeah, sure. Who doesn't like it?
I feel like you could definitely be on Naked and Afraid. They would probably cast you.
Yeah, Naked and Afraid. Yeah,
No,
they'd be
if
all
I was
afraid of me.
naked, I'd be afraid.
All right, you guys.
He's
thank
naked.
you.
How did
He's
Ralph
naked
get this
and
question?
proud. I'm naked
How did
and
I get
afraid.
this one?
You know what?
Yeah,
That's
right.
a confess
What did we launch here?
Ralph and William.
I
Thank you
see.
so much
Thank
for
you so
stopping
much.
by.
Thanks for having us.
Everyone, you can watch all 10 episodes of season 2 now on YouTube Premium, and the first one is free, so go watch it.
All right, here's more on People's 2019 Beautiful issue. This week, we are highlighting celeb parents and their beautiful families. And we caught up with the families of stars like Live with Kelly and Ryan host Kelly Ripa and her husband Mark Consuelos of Riverdale, who share 3 kids together.
Love them. Other stars include Grey's Anatomy star Katerina Scorsone, who's showing off her affectionate family, which includes her writer-producer husband Rob Giles, their 2 kids Eliza and Paloma.
Then there's Fuller House's John Stamos, his wife Caitlin McHugh, and their little bundle of joy 1-year-old Billy.
Love
So cute.
Billy. And Station 19's Boris Kojo, his wife Nicole Ari Parker of Empire, and their 2 kids Sophie and Nicholas. Through the good, the bad, and the ugly, these families love each other no matter what, even if they ruin your genes. Watch this.
I got a call at college, and I was expecting he was just checking in. And he's like, Mike, there's a pair of jeans here. Do you know anything about this? I'm like, jeans? We have a lot of jeans. And he's like, no, but these jeans were washed. They were washed, Michael. And I'm like,
well, what's the key? What else were they?
Yeah, they were
Dry.
they were
No, but what else
No, but
were
they were Dad's jeans.
They were my
weren't.
jeans.
Yeah,
he's never home.
He took my jeans.
He overborrows things.
I will say that Michael has
Overborrows.
systematically moved Mark's wardrobe out of our apartment and into his dorm.
he's in Vancouver, and what he doesn't take, I figured.
None of Dad's clothes should be living in a dorm.
By seniority, it should be kind of mine, right?
No.
There's a lot going on there. I like they're kind of working through the family issues right there on camera. That is one good-looking family, 21-year-old Michael, 17-year-old Lola, 16-year-old Joaquin. They really seem to be close with mom and dad, right?
They do. And Kelly shares beauty tips with Lola, encouraging her daughter to never touch her eyebrows ever, explaining that she's trying to prevent tragedy. And I can relate to that because I used to make my eyebrows so thin. Despite famous parents, the kids say they enjoy the simple act of sitting down for dinner the most. Lola revealing it's the most fun to go around the table and make fun of each other.
Meanwhile, John Stamos and his wife, Caitlin McHugh, they're in the midst of raising that 1-year-old baby, Billy, that we mentioned. Caitlin says, since having the baby, all the 2 talk about now is poo. Watch.
A little piece of poo fall on my head the other day. Because he's up on here, and then I went down, but I'm holding him. I went down to get the thing, and I felt something hit me. I was like, what the heck? Oh, flipped a
He
turd
got
on my
pooped
head.
on in the bathtub recently too. And just as he lifted up to see what was that, then he peed too. It was a very clean bath time experience.
I waited a long time for a kid. He could poo and pee on me all he wants.
Yeah, we've all been there, have experienced that.
I haven't.
The kids pooping. Yeah, all of us with kids. The couple recalls baby Billy's delivery coming earlier than expected. Caitlin visited the doctor after feeling contractions, only to be told by the doctor it was a false alarm and that she should go home and have a glass of wine. Well, after the drink, they realized she actually was in labor and she hadn't had a drink in months, so that drink really got to her. Anyway, the 2 are celebrating survival of their first year as parents. It seems like they're doing a great job there, having fun.
Well, check out all the beautiful families in People Magazine's 2019 Beautiful issue, which is on newsstands everywhere Friday.
You won't see me in a crop top. You won't see me in a short. You won't see me in a bikini. You won't, there are lots of things. The list goes on. The other thing that my kids do all the time that's so funny, like when I get home tonight after this shoot and I'll feel pretty and I'll feel like the best possible version of myself, they'll look at me and say, can you wash your face? Can you put your hair in a ponytail and put on glasses and put your sweats on? And as much as I feel like, but don't you appreciate, I also do see the compliment in that. They want me to look like mom.
She's so cute.
Yeah,
We
she
just
is.
love her. In this week's special People cover story, Mom of 3, Jennifer Garner, leads our beautiful issue with her beautiful blend of grace and gratefulness.
Yeah, here to walk us through why Jennifer was the perfect pick and all of the beauties of the year is People's senior editor, Janine Rubenstein. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Jennifer, getting real about what beauty means to her. Let's take a quick look at this and then we'll talk about it.
I feel like I'm happier and feel prettier the less I look in the mirror, and the more I am thinking about my impact outside. Looks weren't a big deal in my family, and we never talked about it. I was so not one of the pretty girls that I just bypassed insecurity and just didn't see myself as an attractive person at all. I just was like, oh, this is just me. And I think that there's a part of that that I've always carried with me, so that when I have gone through a phase in life where it was like looks were a big part of what I was doing and I was celebrated for the way that I looked, it wasn't something that I took seriously, so as I'm getting older, it doesn't feel as much like something that's being taken away.
She's so sweet. And by the way, the Princess Leia vibes in that video, okay, right? Like the look. It's so adorable.
Adorable, little fun bun.
Yeah, right? Why was Jennifer Garner the perfect person for this year's cover?
Look at her. And she is just absolutely gorgeous inside and out, but mostly inside. And that's something we realized sitting down with her and talking to her about her life now. And she's just that star next door, is what we called her.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize she's so down to earth, especially in these clips, you know? What was her reaction when she found out she's gonna be the cover of this issue particularly?
She was shocked. She said, like, she never imagined herself being like beautiful, or she never heard she was pretty. I'm like, did they have mirrors?
Yeah, no.
Like, come on. But it was nothing that like she just wore as like a badge of honor. And so to get this badge of honor, she was completely surprised.
Yeah, and she touched on this in the clip, but she's in Hollywood. Sometimes outer appearance is everything. A lot of times it must be really hard for people when there's so much pressure. So how does she make sure not to let other people's opinions affect her?
She does not tune into it at all. She does not read comments. She does not even look at her pictures or articles online. She likes Instagram. She says that's okay, and people are really nice to her on Instagram. But outside of that, she just doesn't deal with it at all, because why?
Well, also, she's really funny on Instagram. She's got some great, really good tutorial type videos, but also hilarious throwbacks and everything else. If you don't follow her, you should. Jennifer has 3 kids with her ex-husband, Ben Affleck, 13-year-old Violet, 10-year-old Serafina, and 7-year-old Samuel. She opened up about the most beautiful parts of mom life. Watch.
There's so many beautiful things about being a mom. I get to see them struggle, and I get to see them succeed, and I get to see them in their kindest, smallest moments, and also in their less glorious ones. But I'm starting to get to the point where I realize, oh, this job is not going to be forever. And not in the way that it is now, in the all-encompassing, every meal, every moment, every day, way that I have loved for the last 13 years. It's going to shift. I think there's beauty in its natural, in how it works in episodes, and I think that the episode I'm in is pretty great.
She's a great attitude about it. Also, I want to say I love horses, so I'm so into this shoot.
Right.
So because she has 2 daughters, though, I want to know, how is she going to raise her kids when it comes to beauty, makeup, and that whole world?
She told us when she gets home, they want it off. They want the makeup off. They want her eyelashes off. They want to see mom. And it kind of shows how they view beauty themselves. And she lets them play with makeup at home, but she says she is looking at everything before it goes out the door. So you might not see like a blue lip.
Okay. So look, the issue, she's on the cover, but it's chock full of a lot of beautiful people and telling their beautiful stories. Talk about the beauties of the year and how that list is put together.
Oh, the beauties of the year. It's really looking at women who are just at their peak level, career-wise, beauty-wise, and self-confidence-wise. You have one of my favorites, Selma Blair, who has opened up about her health journey and her struggles this year, but she still feels so proud and bold through it. We saw her step out in this gorgeous gown that we show at the Vanity Fair party, and she has her cane, but it is not slowing her down or stopping her.
And that was a beautiful moment for so many reasons, the strength and the courage there.
Yeah, I love there's emphasis on beautiful inside and out as well. So I think that's really special. I love that you guys do that. I love the lovely at every age section that you guys do. It's one of my favorite pages.
Yeah.
So inside and out, beauty does not have an expiration date, people. These women are proving it. So who are you most excited to include this year?
Yeah, it runs the gamut. You have the 30-year-old Zoe Kravitz to 69 Meryl Streep. And I love this page because it shows every single age. There's literally beauty at every single age, and you should, reading it, look at your age and just feel proud that, you know, you are owning that.
And it doesn't stop. A lot of wonderful women included.
Yeah.
Sheen, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Great to
guys.
see you.
And for more from Jennifer Garner and all of this year's Inspiring Beauties, you can pick up a copy of this week's issue on Newsstands Friday.
All right, guys, more divorce drama between talk show host Wendy Williams and her soon-to-be ex, Kevin Hunter. People just obtained a police report that reveals a welfare check was conducted on the host back in January after a claim that she was being poisoned by Kevin Hunter.
Yeah, police visited the couple's New Jersey home on January 18th. An anonymous caller claimed that Hunter was poisoning Williams. Now, a source told people the caller was most likely a fan.
When the police arrived, Hunter answered the door and said Williams was recovering from a recent illness. And police say Hunter was hesitant to let them in, but when he did let them in, police found Williams in bed, covered with a blanket from neck to toe, as they put it.
And she told the police she was recovering from a recent shoulder injury. On a December episode of The Wendy Williams Show, she told viewers she had fractured her right shoulder. When the police asked Williams about the poisoning claim, she teared up, but denied it.
Now, police say Hunter then responded saying something to the effect of there had never been any calls to his house regarding domestic violence. Officers left the home when they decided that Wendy was okay.
It's been a difficult couple months for Williams. In March, she announced on her talk show she'd been living in a sober house because of her past struggles with cocaine. She then filed for divorce from husband Kevin Hunter earlier this month after 21 years of marriage.
This all comes amid the news that Hunter allegedly fathered a child with his mistress. Lots of fans, lots of people have been buzzing about that. Last week, Hunter broke his silence on the split in a statement to People, admitting that he was, quote, not proud of my recent actions and apologizing, saying, to my wife, my family, and her amazing fans.
Sources close to Williams told People last week that she is firing Hunter as her manager in the wake of the rocky divorce. When the news of the divorce broke, Williams' personal rep issued a statement to People saying thank you to everyone for respecting the family's privacy during this time. Kevin is supportive of Wendy and they are working through this process together. No additional comment will be provided at this time.
We, of course, wish the best for Wendy Williams and her whole family. Guys, now we move on to this. Watch.
What'd you do to the pillows? I'll do this.
So you hate it?
I wouldn't say hate.
I like the brown a little bit in here.
I like that. I don't like that tie-dye moment.
This one?
Yeah, so why don't you switch that out with the gray?
Okay.
I can just see their family all sitting around this dining table now.
Do you think they're gonna make us pasta?
Well, I wonder if they get well fed on their jobs. Stars Nate Ferguson, Jeremiah Brent join us now to talk all about season 3 of Nate and Jeremiah by Design. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Question, did you get that pasta that you were wondering about?
We did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, 100%.
We ended up going back a couple weeks later to another family dinner they were having and had way more than we cared to admit.
But they're a big Italian family. I ate like someone told me I had 2 weeks to live that night.
It's just how you get around carbs in general.
Yeah, it was like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
And when it's that good, it takes a while for it to catch up, and then when it does catch up, you're finished, right? Oh, man.
I'm
when
still,
you think Nate's finished, he keeps
I'd rather be sitting at their table right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about this. We'll get to the show in a minute, but congrats on baby number 2. Oscar
Thank you.
is 1 now.
He's 1, yeah.
Poppy's 4.
Mhm.
What's the best part about life with 2 kids?
I think, you know, with Oscar, we had to readjust because the rhythm of the house changed and just kind of acclimating to this new energy. I mean, Oscar is so sweet and is he's like a bag of potatoes.
Yeah, right.
You know, he just runs around like a crazy person.
And, you know, our daughter is so articulate and has such a great vocabulary and sort of sits straight in her chair, and our son just lays on the floor and tries to bite it.
Yes.
I'm really interested in how you guys, how you are affected in the way you design with kids. I live in New York. You guys are moving back to New York. The New York City apartment space is tricky, and not having like toys in the main living area and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're very big fans of organizing their toys. We edit them all the time. They go into bins that we found online, organized by what they are, all those little, like, you know, Paw Patrol figures that you're stepping on every day.
Yeah.
But we, you know, we love being dads, and we're also the only family on TV with gay family with 2 kids, and that responsibility isn't lost on us. And so the show's been wonderful for us because it's been 3 years, and as you said, Poppy's 4. So we've watched them unfold and continue to watch their lives unfold. It's documented for us.
That's really
so it's great.
Best hair on TV too, which is also a high standard and a big responsibility. Let's just be
that is. I hope everyone's listening to you.
You said you're currently teaching Oscar patience.
Yes.
So what does that look like?
I'm teaching Oscar and his father patience.
Was he impatient before?
He's not patient. Our daughter is much more patient.
There
you
he
know,
is.
look at my God, he's so cute. So, you know, he's one. He's trying to find, we had a weekend with him recently, and I really kind of figured out that he's trying to get these cues on how to actually vocalize what he wants.
Yeah.
But he's different than Poppy was. Each kid, as you know, Jeremy, like they're born who they are, and you try to figure out ways that you can help them grow and keep them safe. And
I'm totally fine saying that girls are smarter than boys.
Yeah, I'm fine with saying that too.
I like to hear that.
I know this firsthand now.
My 7-year-old is like a year or two away from exceeding me in intelligence.
Oh,
I mean, truthfully, like we're real close.
Poppy just told me she was disappointed in me in her bath the other night.
You got soap in her eye.
They just cut straight through.
I'm really disappointed, Dad. My eye's stinging.
Let's talk about this. Oscar was named with your former partner in mind.
He was.
And why was that important for you?
Well, it wasn't important to me until it actually happened, because it wasn't my idea. It was Jeremiah's idea. And we were sitting around talking about, when you have surrogacy, you've got a lot of time on your hands. I told Oprah once the best thing about surrogacy is tequila. And so there's, you're sitting sort of waiting for the kids to come in and to be born. And we were talking about names, and it was Jeremiah's idea, because we were thinking of guys' names that we like. And Fernando Bengoechea, who died in the 2004 tsunami, his middle name was Oscar. And so Jer said, what about Oscar? And so now I feel like there's a bit of a legacy. His middle name is Michael, from my father, who passed away a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. So we have this kind of moment now where, we see our son living his life and discovering the world for the first time, and he carries the name of two people that I love dearly.
Is it important for you, maybe as Oscar continues to grow, to tell him stories about that and sort of the significance of the name, and maybe even already talking to Poppy about that?
Fernando is a really integral part of our love story, and Poppy knows who he is. There's photos of Fernando in our home. He'll always be part of our love story. So I think names are really important to us in the house. Poppy's was from a dream that I had years ago.
I remember you told me.
And so it's really important that the kids understand that everything down to their name was thoughtful and has a meaning.
I think that's so beautiful.
Thanks.
That's
Thank
so
you.
wonderful. Let's get into the show here. Nate and Jeremiah, by design. You're helping homeowners who kind of feel overwhelmed, defeated with their living situations. Things get very emotional. Jeremiah, we see you tear up a lot. Yeah.
I might have emotional issues.
He's a little unstable.
Yeah, I don't know. The show is beautiful because it's about love. It's through design, but the connective tissue is love and all coming together. And I really care for the people we work with, and the fact it's the best job in the world when you get to stand next to somebody and dream a bigger dream for them than they even knew was possible. And validating when people see that they've been heard and that somebody cares.
Yeah, so we see a lot of tears in the first episode. Can we expect a lot more tears kind of throughout?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're in season 3 of this show, and we're executive producers, and we are part of casting, and we're part of all of it. And so when we're with the homeowners and we watch them see how their life is going to be transformed, that's a very powerful moment, a moment that we'll never get tired of, holding someone's hand and saying, open your eyes. And when they realize that this is where they can raise their family, or this is where they can reconnect with their family, and then a new chapter is starting for them, which is, we walk away at that point.
Yeah.
It's a really powerful moment.
I mean, I tear up watching. I can't imagine being there with these people and seeing their lives change.
Jeremiah's crying right now.
Yeah.
I cried at the Avengers premiere, so I'm the wrong person to ask.
The Avengers premiere.
It was a full circle moment for a lot of those characters.
The Avengers premiere? Wait, really?
Yeah, yes. I was just like mainlining Swedish Fish, and I look over and he's got tears rolling down his
Jeremiah,
face.
who are you a big fanboy over?
All of it. I'm obsessed with
Are you?
anything sci-fi.
Oh, nice.
Which it drives Nate crazy, but like anything aliens,
superheroes or whatever.
Literally sitting behind Matt Damon and his wife. I'm mainlining Swedish Fish and bugging him because I'm like, why does that matter? And
He just doesn't understand what he's been through.
He's telling me the whole history of
I like the
Marvel.
idea of Damon turning around and being like, can you keep it down with the tears?
Listen, I'm a silent crier. Okay? I'm a gentleman.
With the show, you're helping these people renovate their homes, and it seems like, a lot of times one bad decision, they can put themselves in a money pit here.
It's true.
What's the biggest mistake you see with people when they're dealing with their homes?
I think what you said.
Yeah.
It's the first decision. People grab a sledgehammer and swing the wall and think that they're going to be a weekend warrior and get this house fixed, and it doesn't work like that. There's a lot of variables, and anytime you're dealing with construction, it's about educating yourself first and really getting a process in order.
I don't mind somebody doing anything cosmetic to their own home. I think that's great. You want to change the hardware on your cabinets, you want to repaint your kitchen.
Paint a wall.
But you want to try putting up
One accent
wallpaper,
wall, right?
go for it. The minute you start cutting wires and dealing with electrical, the minute you try to weld a pipe, or change where a toilet. Leave that to the professionals.
So many dudes, especially, just think we know.
I
can do this.
I am positive I don't know.
Bros think they know, man.
Bros think they know.
Bros think they know.
Let's talk about this. You have a new furniture collection in collaboration with Living Spaces. So what was the biggest inspiration behind the collection?
I think history and books. I mean, we have a design library between the two of us, or over 300 design and furniture and antiques, books that we studied a lot. And so we brought sort of different periods and different elements to the collection and had a really good time designing it. It's huge.
It's also about creating a collection that didn't just feel transactional, that people felt like they could go and buy affordable price furniture that they could keep for a long time. You know, we've taken a lot of our experiences, both with our design firm and even with the show, with what's practical, what's multifunctional, and trying to create these pieces that are timeless that people can keep for a long time.
Well, it looks great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Congrats on that. Are you ready for a game?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go. We're calling this one the Newly-Wed-ish game.
Oh, no.
You guys have been together a long time. Yeah, whatever.
No, but
we're going to test to see how well, Newly-ish-Wed game, whatever. We're going to see how well you both know each other. What's that?
Thank you,
This
guys.
is the photo you chose to blow up with me.
Posters with your faces. You hold up the picture that is relevant to the question. You ready? Cue the music, everyone. Do we hear it?
First question.
And there it is.
Who is most likely to forgive the other first in an argument?
Okay.
Okay.
Did you see him do that? Or,
No.
Okay. Who is the most likely to write the other a love poem? Okay, well, it's becoming very clear what's going on
poems?
here.
I like it. I'm mushy.
He's much more mushy than me.
Yeah.
And you're not at all.
I can be, but it's rare.
It's not going to be like poems.
It's prompted usually.
It's like, why didn't you write me a poem? I just gave you one.
I
And
need
I'm like,
something.
It's me, I'll do it.
Just give me a nice card.
Who changes the most diapers?
That's me.
Ah, that was
question.
really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who styles Poppy's hair the best?
Ah.
Okay, this is, you've been together. You know.
Yeah.
Who fell in love with the other first? That's not surprising.
Wait, Jeremiah, why was there a sigh there?
Allegedly.
No, you said it out loud.
It's an
It was like
alleged
on
story.
date number 3, we were at a wedding and we were standing on a rooftop here in New York City and Gavin Newsom walked out. He was officiating the wedding and Jer said to me, I love you. And
I meant it to Gavin Newsom.
He went to say he loved Gavin Newsom, but I took it and I ran with it. So that was 6 years ago now.
So adorable.
Hey, Jeremiah, it's always great to have you. Thank
Yes,
you for being here.
much.
Thank
Of course,
you.
good to see you.
Thank
Congrats on
you.
everything. Everybody, be sure to watch Nate and Jeremiah by Design Saturdays at 9 p.m. on TLC.
Also, don't forget to check out their new furniture collection available at Living Spaces. Britney Spears has resurfaced on social media to reassure her fans that she's okay as she continues to seek treatment. Watch this.
Hi guys, just checking in with all of you who are concerned about me. All is well. My family has been going through a lot of stress and anxiety lately, so I just needed time to deal. But don't worry, I'll be back very soon.
There she is. The singer addressed rumors surrounding her current situation in the caption, saying in part, there's rumors, death threats to my family and my team, and just so many things, crazy things being said. Trying to take a moment for myself, but everything that's happening is just making it harder for me. Don't believe everything you read and hear.
Now, Britney had checked into an all-encompassing wellness facility amid her father's health battle at the beginning of April. A source close to the family said at the time, Britney just needed to focus on herself. She cares for her father, Jamie, after his life-threatening colon rupture.
Spears went on in her post to slam her former manager, Sam Lutfi, for allegedly sending fake emails and indirectly addressed the hashtag Free Britney movement, which has suggested that she's being held against her will.
Spears wrapped up her post by praising her fans for their overwhelming support, writing this, "Your love and dedication is amazing, but what I need right now is a little bit of privacy to deal with all the hard things that life is throwing my way. If you could do that, I would be forever grateful. Love you."
Britney's heartfelt message comes just hours after her boyfriend, Sam Asghari, spoke out about her condition. He told TMZ on Tuesday, quote, "She's doing great. Thank you for your support."
He also acknowledges the support Spears has received from the community, telling the outlet, her fans are so amazing to be concerned, but she's doing great. Nobody needs to worry.
A Spears family insider told People that the singer is still receiving treatment, but took a short break to enjoy the weekend, Easter weekend with Sam, doing her thing there. The duo was seen leaving the Montage Resort and Hotel in Beverly Hills on Easter Sunday.
And a separate source previously told People that Spears is encouraged to keep up with the usual routines as part of the treatment process.
Now, in November 2018, Spears' father became seriously ill. To kind of recap, after that colon spontaneously ruptured, according to the Spears family insider, his hospitalization and surgeries have taken an emotional toll on Britney.
She was absolutely devastated, out of mind, worried when he first entered the hospital. The insider adds that Spears' father, Jamie, who continues to recover from a life-threatening colon rupture, is doing okay health-wise.
I want everything to be great with Britney Spears.
I know,
Yeah,
same.
I feel for her, and I hope that she does whatever she needs to do to be in a good place. Coming up tomorrow, guys, more from James Brolin. He's giving us a look at season 4 of his hilarious family sitcom, Life in Pieces.
Plus, things are heating up in the land of Real Housewives. Yes, I'm talking about that tense Boy George concert on Beverly Hills. We're breaking down all of that and more in our Housewives recap. Thanks for watching. For now, we'd leave you with one last thing from Barry star Anthony Kerrigan. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hi, my name is Anthony Kerrigan, and this is one last thing. The last emoji I used was champagne glasses clinking. The last time I laughed out loud was last night during press, and it was nervous laughter. The last concert I attended was 9 Inch Nails, and it was brilliant.